was actually born right on, no, not in the lake.
I was gonna say, I hope not.
No. But in those days, you didn't have a lot of doctors running around.
Right.
We only had Dr. Boynton,
Mhm.
and that was it.
So, when you were a child, was there a lot of tourists coming into Billerica?
No, there were summer people. They call them summer people, not
Okay.
tourists, but summer people. And I have the maps of the houses that they built, and they were very reasonable. They were like $50 for the lot, and then $100 to get a whole kit of building a house. There's only one house that's left that is really, that I would say is pretty near pristine, perfect of what they sold. And that's when you go down Middlesex Turnpike, you're going down the lake, on the left-hand side, you'll see a little cottage that's white and has green trim. And that's basically what the whole thing was. I did take a few pictures of that, but I don't know, I wasn't able to get them fast. But because it was pretty cheap, or what we consider reasonable. It would be like going up to New Hampshire in the woods there and someone developing something. And this is the streets that he developed. He did this whole project, this company.
Do you know what the company was?
These are the plans. It has it on here, but I'm just looking at it now. I'm trying to see the company. This isn't a good copy. Someone gave me a copy of a copy. So, anyway. He did other things besides this one in Billerica. He did another one somewhere further. But this was what it was called, Nutting Lake Park. And there's a reason, read it. The Nutting Lake Park has a frontage of miles of picturesque lakes surrounded with virgin pines. It offers good fishing, bathing, and boating, and is served by two different lines of electrics. One of Harvest Square, and the other one does sound funny though, because
So those are trolleys, the electric?
yeah,
Okay.
those are trolleys. And let's see, cottage sites. There were $19 to $39. I would say 50, but I wasn't close. It was cheaper than that. And they also had, now I don't know if anyone knows where the Sheridan store was. It was right up the top of Marshall Street, and the beach was on that side, on the south side. And this was the first, hold that upside down. This was the first, it was 12 Elliott Street, before it was Sheridan store. Before it became a store, this was like, you went there like a bed and breakfast. But then it became a grocery store, and now it's shut down, because, it's not.
Is the building still there?
Yeah, the house is still
So you could
there.
find that?
Yeah, you could find that, but it doesn't look the same.
Sure.
It doesn't have, they closed up the windows here, and then they just have the door. You can take that with you and take a copy of it
Okay.
if you want
thank
to. Yeah, that was 1937. That was the year I was born. And then, they had a lot of different things going on there. It was a summer place, but there's also a big community of people that stayed there. And those people were very, very close. And in fact, now even today, if they buried someone from St. Teresa's up here, there'll be so many people from Nuttings Lake there. If someone from Nuttings Lake died, they said they're the only ones that fill the church up when someone dies, but Nuttings Lake people come together, and express their sorrow and so forth. There's another aspect to the fun that they had was what you call, this was by Martin, you know, Martin's Tavern. He did this picture, and this is, they would call them, I don't know what they call them, I forget now. But the shows, and they sometimes had the black people.
Minstrel?
Yeah, minstrel shows. And the minstrel shows, they sometimes had made up faces like black people, because the jazz was coming in, and minstrel shows, and the excitement of, you know, the new music and everything was around. So, of course, my mother was very musical, so she wanted to be one of the blacks, you know, and now I look at it and I say, why'd she do that? Because
Now it's not politically
politically
correct.
right,
Yeah.
and she wouldn't have meant any harm by it, but she wouldn't be able to do that. And when I look at it, I don't know who she is. You know, when you look at the old photograph, you say, I wish she was just her normal self. But anyway, she was one of the only ones that appeared as a black singer. And of course, the black singers, they're so, you know, people enjoy them so much that I think everybody, even though that we say discrimination, a lot of people copy the black traditions because they're so fun and powerful.
Right.
So, these are, I haven't reached what the company is yet.
That's
Oh, yeah.
all right.
Suburban Land Company.
Okay.
And they did the land down, in West Billerica too.
Rio Vista?
Yeah, down that way. I don't know what they called it though, what the organization called it. But they were from Boston, in Boston, and they bought all the land, entire lands around the lake. And the lake was a kind of place where my mother had boats that she rented from the two people. And it was interesting that the river, before Route 3 was there, you could go down this winding place. It was like being in a forest or in the jungle, because there were things hanging off, and there were turtles, and my brother would catch turtles that were this big. And just they'd ride the boat, and then one of them would jump and get the tail and pull it up and take it home, and then we'd just look at it, and then they'd release it again, you know. I mean, like all boys do, you know, have fun with the animals. And then they had it was kind of not too much business there, but they did have ice, as you have an ice sign here. This was what they put out to get the ice, and this is what they put. If you had this on the top, that meant you want 100 pounds. You wanted this size, or this size, or 75 pounds. And that's how they did it. And I have the ice pick here, which has the advertisement. Oh yeah, this is the advertisement for the ice. Nutting's Pond Ice. And it says Billerica 322, very short number.
That's the phone number.
Yeah, that's the phone number. So then I wrote down a couple of things that I think might be interesting. You know, they had during World War II, they had people watching out for, because they had the air base in Bedford, in Hanscom. They had to watch out for the enemy planes, like the German planes, and they had a tower on the top across from where the skating rink was, up on the hill. First part on not in the south side, in the north side. And it was a big tower.
Would that be off of Friendship?
Helen Dolan. No, it was right on Turnpike.
Right on
You know
the
where
turnpike.
Helen Dolan lived? No, it's a top house, white house, and the tower was right there. The only reason I know is my sisters were older than me, and they used to say how they had to watch for the planes. And one of the teachers at high school, he used to have the kids, Bob Gill was his name, and he did manual training. He was a manual training instructor. He made the students replicate the German planes so they would be identified when they were on lookout. Everybody had volunteered to be on lookout. And it says here, 109, there's something. I don't read German that well. But it's what they were supposed to be looking for. That would have been on the side. So I thought that was pretty interesting. This would be like where the skating rink was. I had a bigger picture of it, but I don't know if I have it. Oh, here it is, right here. Ice delivery sign, I told you that. And that was placed in the window so they could tell how much ice you needed and they'd leave it for you. This is the skating rink. They called it a dance hall, but it wasn't really a dance hall. And my house is right across from the lake on the other side. I can see it. And we used to roller skate here and, all the time, and people come from all over the place, Boston and everything, to do roller skating. And it was kind of, it felt like really safe, but it really wasn't. It was just like now. I mean, we were offered rides most of the time by people from the inner city, saying, how would you like a ride? We're going to go see and, it wasn't good. One time someone tried to get us and ran into us in the road, and we went underneath the bridge, but the bridge used to be open in a spot so you could hide under there. They didn't know anything about it, but we ran and we hid under there, and they couldn't see us, and because I did a stupid thing. I took my skates, my roller skates, and went tsh, when they tried to run into us, and I just put my skates like this and went tsh, and then they were looking for us. Going to kill us, I think. But anyway, that's the skating rink, and it was like that. It was very nice. Could skate all the time. And Mr. Dolan owned that.
Are you okay with my scanning these photos?
No. Go ahead.
Of course it is. So
What,
memorize
honey?
everything she says.
What she said?
My computer is updating.
Oh, okay.
But he has the questions, and I know some of them.
And this was the same thing that you had. You want butter, you want milk, you want cheese. See, it's got 2 holes, and you hang that in your window. You want cheese, you want butter, different things.
I'm gonna scan these too. That's cool. I'll bring them back.
Okay.
And they would bring it in horse-driven carriages, right? Was it that point?
No, because when I was young, which is quite a long time ago, the fellow that was living in this house, he was the patrol officer, and I was bad girl because I didn't want to go to school at the public school because my 2 sisters were younger and they stayed home. So I would try to get out of it by saying, I hurt my leg. And my mother would send for the truant officer. I think she was so mean. But he lived here, so Dunton and somebody else. And they had old cars, like the wooden ones, the one that had the Fords, the early Fords. They always had those. And the other ones, I don't know what they did. They had some kind of thing for getting the ice. They had horses, and sometimes the horses would go into the water, but then they'd pull. They'd be pulling the ice off, So anyway, why don't you have her take a copy of that for you, if you want. And big celebrations on July 4th. They used to have boat races. They have, this is part of that, minstrel show. You can see this, you might like to take that. And, the minstrel show would be like, near July 4th. And they always had they had a boathouse on the south side, and it was huge, you know. And they had dances all the time. I have a lot of pictures of them dancing at the boathouse. And, you know, so that's one of the things that they did there. And it always was very close. Everybody really liked each other because they always had fun. I don't know, there was only one kid I think that bullied him. I don't know. I think there's only one kid I can even remember that bullied. Most of the time everybody was really protective of each other. So, that's about it as far as, you know, my information, except during the war, it was kind of, you know, the spot was so close to Hanscom, they were very afraid, just like when we had the trouble with the buildings and blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was at the Vining School, and they were watching all the planes that were flying over at that time. It was the same thing that they had during World War II. It made me think of that, because I can remember my sister telling us that the planes were always, you know, they were always watching the planes. That Hanscom Air Base was really active at that time. It was one of the only ones that was so big, you know. And, you know, I can remember her going in to work when I was 6 years old. She was down at Boston in the Navy shipyard helping them do, I don't know what she did, but something that women, you know, usually do. She had to do for the Navy, because they let, you know, you've seen that ad where they say the woman does this and that. It's a woman, what's her name, with the Band-Aid around her head, the tie? Yeah.
I can't think of it. Do you
Yeah.
know, like the poster?
The We Can Do It one,
Yeah.
Rosie the Rabbit.
Rosie the Riveter. Okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And she would go down to Boston, and then they would have, and actually they didn't mind it, because then they had they had things for the sailors to do, which was dancing and stuff like that. So it was all hard work, but then they had kind of rewards afterwards. I got that idea, you know, because she wasn't sad when she came home. She was all happy.
That's awesome.
So anyway, other than that, I can't think of anything except swimming every day. I swam every day, and we did fish, and we just like now, we don't eat the fish. We didn't eat the fish from there, because I think a lot now it's really the salt and things that we pour in, and the chemicals make it the fish not desirable to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's nowhere, I don't think in Massachusetts you can eat the fish except from the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all, you know, fairly polluted with all kinds of extra chemicals. And I think that, you know, it's a very nice place to grow up, because everybody was watching for everyone else. Like I said, my friend, she said, we're gonna do something today. We're gonna step out in front of a car and stop them
Oh my
as they come up the hill. And then we're gonna tell them that if they don't give to this certain family that had no food, then they wouldn't be able to use this road anymore. We thought it was a super highway, but it's just a little tiny road now. But she said, this girl was in special needs that I was friends with. She said they have to put the gas on in order to get us, and they won't put the gas on. So we collected a whole bunch of cans and we gave it to them. And Yeah, and she just died a short time ago, so I'm just kind of reminiscing about the things that she did that was devilish, but,
I have
yeah,
a question, Helen.
yeah,
That dance hall photo you showed me,
yeah,
or the skating
the
rink,
skating rink.
is that on Lake Street? Is that where that would have been? I'm trying to think where that was, on the lake.
Wasn't it where the, that liquor store and
Yeah,
sandwich
where
shop
the liquor
is?
store is, it's like,
I thought
like-
they cantilevered out, is what Randy
no,
remembers.
it's like, the,
I was thinking,
liquor store is here, and the rink, the skating rink was here.
on the corner?
There was two other houses, no, further down.
That's what I was thinking.
I
Is
don't know
that
what that
Lake
church,
Street?
remember there was a church there too, the Catholic church?
No.
Yeah, there was a Catholic church just a little further on the right, and then we had the skating rink there.
I want to get a map and have you look at the map and show me these places. I want to mark where they were. It just would be nice to know, because I read this book this week. I know you know this book.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that? Yeah. And I was reading that, and she was talking about different places like the church and the ice houses and
Yeah.
Dolan's store and a bunch
Yeah,
of things.
yeah.
And it's like, but I want a map. I want to see where these things were,
Oh, yeah, okay,
because in your head you know where they were, but
yeah,
for me it all
I
comes
know, it
together
all-
once I see a
and
map.
all of it's so fun. The
Yeah.
winter fish, they do
Yeah,
a lot of,
I think you
ice
can take your
fishing.
canoes and put your boats in there for
Yeah.
fishing or whatever.
yeah, ice fishing.
And there is
And
like a
it's the
little
rec
church.
department that does
Yeah.
it.
There's actually a little church that's still there.
Mhm.
Oh,
But it's
okay,
like,
I haven't checked it,
but it
I
turned
knew
into
it
a
went.
karate studio. It's
Oh,
a
that's
church-built-
on
Oh, that's
Marshall
something
Street.
else.
Oh, is that a different one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's a
down
different one.
here.
Oh, that's down on that side.
Right
okay.
there.
Yeah. Okay, that's.
Mhm.
There's a
that's
church
up
there.
Marshall Street.
Right.
Okay, never mind.
Right. Yep.
Well,
Okay,
what else?
do you have any more questions?
Yeah, I have one more. When did you start noticing that Billerica was becoming less of a tourist town?
That was probably not something you noticed.
Well, I think it was when they stopped running the movies at the boathouse. We used to see Frankenstein and all those movies, and they stopped doing that because they said it wasn't that much interest, because it was more, more people that stayed around, so they weren't, they didn't run it, I don't know why.
I wonder if World War II changed things.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Okay, Sean,
I
did
don't
you have
know.
any questions?
Not really.
Okay. Well, I think that was a big help, Helen.
oh, okay,
I thank you for all your stories and your pictures and stuff.
uh-huh,
I appreciate the map help. I'm a map person and I need to see it on a map to understand
Well,
the
look at-
story.
this map. Can't see it that good. But look at how many different buildings they had
Yeah.
anticipated. I don't think they did that much.
I was wondering if any of this was associated with Warren Manning. That's why I was wondering the company.
No, it was, what do they call, what?
You said suburban something.
Yeah,
about-
yeah, but the suburban, they did the one down, let's see. In West Billerica,
Rio Vista.
yeah, Rio Vista is
Mhm.
what he did,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the same idea.
Yep.
And I forget his name, but I don't think it was this company. This company had a lot to do.
I love the description and the write-up about it. Oh, look, you could get here from Harvard Square or Sullivan Square.
Yeah.
Offers good fishing, bathing, and boating.
I wish they had it now.
Yeah.
Because, that's how we used to get to,
Travel around.
Arlington and
Mhm.
Harvard Square. We always went down,
Take the trolley.
Yeah,
yeah,
that would be so convenient, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Except it'd be breaking every minute.
And then they had that little, train that went right down to South Billerica.
Billerica Bedford line.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That was a nice thing.
Oh, that is neat. Well, thank you for sharing.
thank you for putting your time into this. Let me see what it says here.
Okay, closer.
And did you have friends that did you make friends with, did have some people just came for, did they buy, did they buy
sometimes I would be
cottages?
friend with them, but
Uh-huh.
a lot of them came from, you know, the inner city.
Yeah.
And
Somerville?
We came from Somerville, but not that kind in,
The
I
summer people were sort of separate a little bit?
not really separate. I had a couple close friends that were
Yeah.
summer people, but I'm just, my head is thinking about some of them that came just were, you know, what's that?
Could you turn that back on? And
Sure.
tell a little bit about what it was like physically there, maybe?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't know. It's on.
Yeah, there was a lot of pine trees, and you know, it was very enjoyable, you know, because in fact this house that I was at, I used to lay down and read to my friend. It was in this particular house, which was at first a place with bed and breakfast, but then they grew out of that because people were buying up the little houses, and I think you ought to go down Middlesex Turnpike and see that little house. That's right across from where
The
Neil
brick
and Wally
building?
is. You know where her office is?
I just know there's a brick office
Yeah,
building
brick
on
office.
the right.
Yeah, right over across the street.
And it
And
has
I
a
don't
little
even know if
porch
it's
on the
gonna,
front.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if it's
I
gonna
checked it
last
out
that
the
long.
other day.
A lot of people will probably
Mhm.
would die to have that property
No
because it
cottage,
wouldn't
yeah.
cost, I mean, it would be more or less the land. But I hate to see it go.
Oh, it's got
It
character.
should have,
Mm.
you know, it's got historical importance. But anyway, the friends I had, yeah, we always, you know, meet, and they always, you know, even their relatives and stuff would be, you know, friendly. And everybody, you could walk around and you wouldn't get in trouble, you know, like if you were, you know, a child, you know, there wouldn't be any problems. But anyway, we did a lot of water sports, and my father was a police officer, just part-time in Martin's Tavern. And my mother worked there, you know, sometimes, you know, being a waitress. And we used to skate, and but we, just like kids, we did some funny things, which we hid the skates in the boats in the backyard, and then we'd get them out and we'd skate at night. You know, we'd say we're going out and we'd go skating. And then one day, you know, we knew where the holes were and the springs were, where there would be not so good a spot. So then the police came down and they shone a big searchlight across, but we were laying flat on the ice, so they couldn't see us. And then when I got back to my house, my father said to me, because we were right on the lake, he said, there was no darn kids out there, they were on that ice, they shouldn't have been on that ice, and blah, 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 blah. And we were looking at each other like, uh-oh. He said, I called the police about that, you know. So we're like, okay, Dad. But he was always worried about the ice, you know, I was skating on the ice. But us kids, we knew where the spots were that were weak. It actually has spring fed, so we knew where the springs were. I hope they didn't change, because I wouldn't want to skate on thin ice. I was skating on thin ice that night because my father was very strict, so, you know, we were scared to death that he'd find out it was us. But we did have quite an opportunity to skate and swim, and we had a few people that were kind of experts at it. And then of course up the street from me and up on the top of the road, the Marshall Street Road, lived Millie Toll, who married Glavin, Tommy Glavin's dad, and that's where she'd come from. so that was kind of nice because we were friends with her. And she's must be very proud of Tommy becoming the important sports figure that he is. And other than that, all my dear friends are in different places now, and they're not at the lake. Some of them might have stayed, but not too many. And my niece lives there, and if you want to have some interesting conversation or film anybody, I have my brother-in-law's sister, I think she's 85, and she always lived on Nuttings Lake, so in Nuttings Lake, on Marshall Street. If you ever want to interview her or go down and film her, she was outstanding as far as knowing what I would love to know what she knows, you know, because she knows a lot about the area. So, and I understand if people don't understand how it was then. It also had connected to Bedford down Spring Street, and now it's the college part. But we used to go down there. There would be I think it was a seminary there. In the seminary, we went down. They had skating too down there, in that area, and they always, you know, it was frozen sooner than a lake, so it was better. It was a smaller one. So anyway, thanks for having me tell you all about this, and
Did you guys have any
I'm
more
proud of
questions?
it. What would you like to
Carrie,
know?
did you have any more?
You were talking about fishing earlier, and I actually was kind of curious if there was any strict laws concerning fishing, or could you guys just go out there and?
No, just off our wharf. We had a wharf. It was just fish. No, there wasn't any strict laws.
No, not
Because
like
there's
now.
not huge. Oh, they might have put some more different fish in there. Because all we got was sunfish.
Oh yeah, that's usually what you get
And,
around Billerica.
Yeah, and you know, we just had them. And sometimes and the water was clear.
Really?
Yeah, you could see your feet. You know, now I don't know if you can still in any place, but you know, I'd say it was like 12 feet down clear, and you could see the weeds too on the bottom because the water was clean, and you know, they were very clean water, and only place there was weeds was in the very center of the lake. The rest was all clean.
Did you ever begin to notice it becoming more polluted or less clear, or just when you went, did you just see it as clean? Because I know it's more polluted now than it
No,
is.
I wouldn't know. I think it was a gradual thing.
Yeah.
I think when what I noticed more was when they started using heavy salt, you know, on Middlesex Turnpike, and then I think it may change the water to something else. I don't know. Not as clear. We used to be like spring clear, you know, like spring water, but you know, it got a bit bad after a while. And then they had a lot of boats on there, but the boats didn't seem to affect the motorboats.
Right.
Didn't affect at all the water. Didn't look like it affected them a lot. And we always had races like from the beach, which was on the south side. We'd race over to where the stores were on the other side, where the store was, and it was skating rink. We didn't go on that side of the skating rink. We stayed on the side where the bridge is. We went on where goes over the, you know, lake. But the most important thing that I miss about the whole thing has nothing to do with Billerica. It's about Route 3 going through there. And when they did it, they said they lowered it a little bit because there were a lot of houses that were actually on the water, in the water. They lowered the thing so it made it that less water in there, so that would be more pollution over the years, I think.
That makes sense.
But then when we, you know, it was like traveling on a safari, because you couldn't see, when you got down into the woods, it was so packed with green and stuff that you couldn't see anything. And then when they put Route 3, it just like was the end of it, because they put it right down through the end. And so in order to find that kind of environment, you'd have to go, I don't know whether you'd have to go to Alaska or up into Canada or someplace like that. I don't know where you'd go. It might not be any left. I don't know. But it was pretty interesting because you row the boat and you look on the side and you see the rocks and you see a snake just sunning himself. Then you look on the other side, there'd be a turtle, and then my brother and my cousin would get these huge turtles, and they were so big. And then we had somebody come who didn't know anything about it, and we bought the turtle and we just let it walk around the yard. And then he was from the Hanscom Field. He was a captain in the Air Force. He took the turtle and he said, "I'm gonna have turtle soup." And we're all like, "Oh no, you can't have turtle soup." You know, it reminded me of, I had someone come from another country, and they're from Thailand, and I have all my frogs in the pond near my house, and he says, "Oh my God, that's like a delicious meal." And I'm saying, well, they get all the mosquitoes for us. No, you can't have them. You can't have them. So I don't know. We could take it for granted, you know. So it was interesting.
So when the Billerica Mall first opened, what was your first impression of it?
Which one?
I think we're talking about the one near Tower Farm Road.
Kmart.
Kmart.
Oh, Kmart. No, I'll tell you, Mal's was the biggest one. That was the beginning. Mal's was up where the other one in North Berker is.
Oh,
Mal's shopping center. I have a brochure that they put out, and it's kind of, and Mal's had, you know, it was, you know, below what we're used to. Let's put it that way. It was, but it was like, it was like the stores that sell bud and stuff. You know, it was pretty easy to buy something. It wasn't very costly.
Okay, I got a map.
Oops, sorry.
All right, this is the Concord Road end, and this is the part that goes to Burlington on Nuttings Lake. So, the skating rink was along here someplace, was it?
I'm just trying to figure out what you.
This is Marshall Street. Here's Macozy Beach.
Cozy Beach is
there on that side.
on that. This
On-
no, it's
right
on,
here.
it's on here.
Oh, so
No,
we're
Macozy
looking at
Beach
it.
is right here. This is north. This is south. You're heading towards Burlington.
Okay.
Macozy Beach is right there. Actually, I can do a.
Wait a minute.
Flip it around, maybe.
No, I can get a satellite image that may help. Let's get trees and beach and stuff. See, that shows Macozy Beach right there.
Oh, so when I think of it, I think of like going toward,
Burlington.
it's like if you're going toward Burlington.
Correct, it's on the
Or
left.
if you're from Burlington coming to Billerica there.
And then this would be Marshall Street.
Where's Lake Street?
This is Lake Street.
Okay.
This looks green, but that's the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And so this store you said was on Elliott?
No. Yeah. Oh,
And
see
so they
Elliot
would
here.
It's confusing.
Yeah, because you got French. No, why? Because I'm used to looking at it this way.
Yeah.
Go ahead, lay it down.
Yeah, maybe we
Go
could do
ahead,
that.
you can lay it down.
That actually is
And
like.
turn it around for you. Does that work better?
No,
Okay.
because I can't read them.
Do you want it a little
Now it
closer?
said no, but this says
liquor store was right here.
On that
I
side.
thought there's a 50% chance of going wrong. I go wrong. I called Randy. I was lost up in New Hampshire yesterday, and he's like, "How did you get there?"
Okay, so what are you looking, that's Marshall. And at one point you said this was on Marshall, then you said Elliott.
I'm just looking to see. Is this Marshall, is it?
Yep.
I have it marked. Oh yeah, it goes up here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is where I live, right here.
Okay, that's where you live now?
Lakeview. No, this is where I lived
You
when
did,
I was a kid.
okay.
And it was called,
There's Mass Ave up that way.
it was Clifton Road.
Okay.
That was Clifton Road. Yeah, whoops, go back.
Where do you wanna go?
I'm gonna diminish it.
Oh, it's not a touchscreen.
Oh, okay.
It's older than that. Here's the cursor.
Okay, minus that.
There you go.
Yeah,
And how long did you live on Clifton Road? Do you know how many years about? Was it, were you born in that
we're
house?
getting personal with
No,
this.
I mean, I'm just curious, were you born in the house or you?
No, I was born on Clifton Street, but up higher.
So
Okay.
your family moved
And then
to
we
the
moved
Nuttings
to
Lake
there.
when
It
you were
was
a
a-
girl?
Yeah, it's like a big, it's like 2 acres
Hmm.
of land that some police officer from some place in Boston owned, and he wanted to sell it, so he sold it to my mother.
Okay.
So that was Lakeview Avenue on this side, and
I don't see Elliott. You have this down as Elliott.
Elliott Street. No, how
You wanna move?
Oh, I gotta move down.
Oh, here's Elliott.
Okay,
That comes to Marshall.
so what happens is Marshall Street goes straight up.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that woman lives that we know that related to us that knows everything
Mm-hmm.
about the war and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Cause she's much older than I am. And then you go left here and you go up Elliott Street. And on Elliott Street right there was this poor family that didn't have anything. And then this was where the boat house was, right down here.
Okay.
The boathouse originally for
Like the further end of Elliott. Does Elliott go all the way over to
No.
there? Oh, okay.
this is
Whatever that is.
Marshall,
Okay.
and that's Lakeview comes
Mhm.
around there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Marshall Street goes straight up to the end. Then they had a few more in there. I don't know what year this map was.
Within the past few years.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And all of this
That
used to
wasn't
just be
something-
really
Oh,
wild
Winter
here?
Street.
Yeah.
Winter Street was where the fellow used to be scared because
Oh.
Winter Street, you know that one. And we all came up this way and went up to Winter Street. That's the highest point right there. You know, when looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Now all these companies are in the back.
Yeah.
Now what else is here? Oh, you want to know where the store was?
Yes.
Yeah, if you go up,
You said it was on Elliott.
no, yeah, you go up Marshall Street,
Mhm.
take a left and right about there,
Oh, okay.
the store was.
Okay.
And you can actually see it. Well, it's actually at the top of the hill of Marshall. When
Okay.
you turn the corner, it's on the right.
Okay. And this is the hill where the little white cottage is that you said is still there. It's across from this building.
Yeah.
And up here someplace there was the tower right on Middlesex Turnpike where they would watch for the planes, the German planes.
Yeah, I know. Trying to figure it out. This is north, right?
This is north.
Oh, okay. That was
So
on the
you're
south
heading
side.
towards Concord Road. Oh, it's on the south side?
Yeah.
Okay.
South side. Is this the construction thing?
That's Macozy Beach.
Oh, not because of beach then. It's going, am I going north now?
You're going south.
Oh, I wanna go north then. Let's see. Water Street, Turnpike, okay, they're gonna move it up again. Alright, now, it was Friendship Street,
Mm-hmm.
right here,
Oh, okay.
and this is, the, I think, how do you show the
Closer.
height?
The altitude, I don't know how to do the altitude, but
Yeah.
you think, I know Friendship's pretty much at the peak.
Yeah, well, you know,
That's why I was
you
figuring
know
it
where
was
the
up that
old
area.
house is though, but then on the top, there's this nice white house, when they
Okay.
finished it, that was Helen Dolan, she just died recently.
Okay.
And the house, the tower was in the back of it, but they don't
Oh,
have the
okay.
tower there anymore.
Alrighty. Now,
Yeah.
you mentioned a Catholic church. Where would that have been?
Oh, that would've been down on Water Street, down here.
Oh,
Oh, there's Peralta Avenue. Huh, that's Martha Peralta. Yeah, Martha Peralta, yeah.
There's a
That was right
church.
where the church was, right there.
Yeah, there's a church now on this side, because we put in for our canoeing, actually, no, it is over here, there is still a church there, I think. It's not a Catholic church anymore, it changed to another type of church.
Oh, is it?
I think it's still there, because I think that's where you put the canoes in and the boats in now.
Sounds like a road
What-
trip to
What do you
me.
mean, honey?
I mean, really, no, I think there's really
No,
a
but
church.
who would be putting the boat?
Oh,
People
well,
who don't live on the
People
lake.
who don't live on the lake now, whenever I go,
They
there's a
can't,
little parking area
Oh.
that you can actually drive into,
I think that's up further because
actually
they
it might
go,
be over here.
they go fishing
Okay.
there. I mean, they have the fishing tournament
Oh, okay.
on the where that church is, then over here towards the water right in here. They have that, see that little road?
Yeah.
They have the fisherman tournament starts there. You know,
Okay.
they